I chose the island because no one looks for dead men. As far as MI6 was concerned, I didn't exist. My handler Arthur had made sure of that. A faked death, a clean vanish, and 3 years of silence. I had food. I had whiskey. I had Jack. That's what the girl would later name my dog. I didn't have a name for him myself. Names make things harder to lose. Every week the supply boat came. Same faces, same routine. One of them was a kid, a teenage girl named Jessie, who'd started leaving little gifts I never asked for and never acknowledged. I wasn't rude. I was careful. The storm hit without warning, the way the worst things always do. I watched from the shore as their boat capsized in the swell. No hesitation. I was in the speedboat before I'd made a decision. I pulled Jessie out of the wreckage. Her uncle, I couldn't. He was trapped inside. By the time I reached him, the boat had gone under. I'd made a promise to that man, once, years ago, in a different life. He'd protected me. I don't forget debts like that. So I brought the girl ashore, treated her leg, kept her alive, and for about 48 hours I thought I could manage it. Keep her hidden, keep us both safe, get her home. I was wrong. She had a fever I couldn't break. Going to a hospital was out of the question, so I did the next worst thing. I went to the mainland, to a chemist, in public. I avoided every camera I could see. The ones I couldn't see were the problem. Some girl with a phone was live streaming her shopping trip. My face was in the background, barely, a second, maybe 2. That was enough. Thea, Manafort's surveillance system, doesn't miss faces. It cross-references everything. Public cameras, private feeds, social media, CCTV. A ghost like me shows up on that system, and suddenly I'm a high-value terrorist alert. Stephen Manafort. That name. I hadn't heard it in 3 years, and now it was coming for me, from 2 directions. You need to understand who Stephen Manafort is. He runs MI6, or he did until the government suspended him for building Thea, a surveillance apparatus so vast it made the public nervous. His deputy, Roberta, took over. But suspended men with that kind of power don't go quietly. They just operate from the shadows. I knew Manafort. I used to work for him. Black Kites, that's what they called us. A unit of operatives trained for jobs that couldn't officially exist. I was one of the best. Workman was another. The reason I walked away, the reason I faked my death and buried myself on an island, was a job Manafort ordered that I refused to finish. An innocent man, someone who'd helped us. Manafort wanted a clean ending, no witnesses. I said no, and men like Manafort don't forget that. Roberta sent a tactical team to the island. 8 men, skilled. They weren't ready for what I'd built. 3 years on that island, I hadn't been sitting still. Every corner was mapped, every angle covered. Booby traps, positioned weapons, sight lines calculated down to the meter. I took them apart, one by one. They killed my dog. But Manafort had gone around Roberta. He'd already activated Workman, my old unit brother, and given him a simple order. Kill Mason. Kill the girl. That's when I knew this wasn't just about me anymore. Jessie was a loose end now, and Manafort doesn't leave loose ends. We left the island. I called Arthur, the only man alive who knew I existed. He was hiding too. We reached his safe house after a blur of car chases and firefights, with workmen cutting off every exit I could think of. Arthur had news of his own. Stage 4 cancer, less than a year. He couldn't shelter Jessie. He couldn't shelter anyone. I don't show what I feel, but I felt that. So I went to the only other option left, the kind of option that comes with no clean exits. A smuggler named Shaw, a nightclub, a negotiation that involved breaking a jaw or 2 before the conversation got productive. Shaw agreed to get Jessie out of the country. Spain, safe. I just had to keep her alive long enough to get her on that boat. They hit the nightclub while we were still inside. Manafort's Black Kite agents. Trained the same way I was trained. Almost. The difference between us was simple. They were following orders. I was protecting something. I cleared the room. Every one of them. Jessie made it to the boat. I watched her go. And then Workman stepped out of the dark. I knew Workman before either of us had blood on our hands. We trained together. We ran missions together.
And now he was here to finish a job his boss ordered. No guns at that range, no room for them. What followed was the kind of fight that happens when two men know every move the other one can make. No showmanship, no theatrics, just violence stripped down to its mathematics. I won. It wasn't clean, but I won.
I went to Manafort's estate. Through his guards, through his security, through everything he thought could stop me. He was calm when I found him. That's the thing about men like Manafort. They've seen enough violence that they've made their peace with it. He sat across from me and said I'd broken the one rule that mattered in the Black Kites. Loyalty. He wasn't wrong. I did break it. But loyalty to what? To a system that orders the execution of innocent men? To an operation that was willing to put a bullet in a teenage girl just to keep its secrets clean? I made my choice 3 years ago on a job that crossed a line that couldn't be uncrossed. And I made it again.